Well, here we go, guys. The ace match between Team Liquid and StarTale. Things were looking grim, and then this guy showed up. The yellow Terran player down at the bottom of the map. The last hope for Team Liquid. It is TaeJa. And up at the top of the map in the red from the Team StarTale. They were so close to winning and going on to face Slayers in the lower bracket finals, but now they're down to the ace match. They've called upon this guy to try to win it for them, try to keep them alive. In Team Arena Challenge number 3, it is none other than Bomber.
And it is winner take all here. As we said, loser is eliminated. Winner moves on to play Slayers in the lower bracket finals. So this
is huge.
Is very exciting.
Yeah. All right. So TVT on Cloud Kingdom. So
it's been a while since we've had TVT, you know? So
it is, yeah. TVT is a matchup we don't get to see a lot anymore. It's been a bit distilled lately in the scene in general. There's less experimentation going on than there used to be. There's a lot of Marine tank being played. Players have kind of gravitated back towards that safer, easier to play style, especially because Terran players have been having to put so much of their mental energy into the other matchups. There's had to been a lot of innovation, especially in Terran versus Zerg, to a certain extent a good amount in Terran versus Protoss as well. While TVT, I mean, Terrans can always go back to Marine Tank. That's always going to be good, you know. So while Terran players, I feel like, are focusing elsewhere, since there's less Terrans in general around right now in tournaments, TVT has become more standard. So we'll have to see what each player has for us.
Bomber going to take gas on pretty normal time. It's going to be 13 gas for him after the 12 barracks. His opponent, TaeJa, of course, bypassing gas. Looks like he's going to opt for that 1-Rax gasless fast expand. A little bit more into his economy, but his tech is going to be quite a bit behind.
Yep, I think we're going to see a Reaper expand from Bomber. It's a very popular build on this map. And it's really easy to get a Reaper in there. Check things out, maybe even get a worker kill or two if you're lucky. TaeJa does scout the gas, of course, as you so kindly showed us. So he will be able to prepare accordingly, move a couple Marines up on that cliff.
And it's actually, Bomber not putting down the tech left there, well past that 25 gas. And it looks like he is going to save up for a factory.
Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff you can do, certainly. There's always Banshees are an option. On this map especially, Marine Hellion Medevac is incredibly popular on one base. And I wouldn't be surprised at all to see TaeJa try to get a SCV back in there to see if there's a tech lab on that barracks.
Well, he only has Marines sitting out in the middle of the map right now, and there's a second gas from Bomber as well. So this is going to be very heavy tech. Usually second gas can mean cloaked Banshees. We've seen some players go for second gas and go for that very traditional Marine tank Viking attack. So a lot of options, but I would not be surprised at all to see Banshees.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Bomber's one of those Terran players, too, that does have the ability to produce a good mix of all-ins and macro builds, too, in TVT, so he really can throw a lot of different things at his opponent. That's something TaeJa's going to need to watch out for.
Yeah, Bomber can macro like a madman when he wants to, so... And it is actually going to be an expansion. He was just taking very, very, very early tech. So now TaeJa putting up a third command center, and thank goodness for him that it's not going to be a huge one base all in, because otherwise he would have been in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, certainly would have been. It would have been hard for him to defend that. There is a starport now on the way, and there's a tech lab. Yep, so it will be Cloak Banshees most likely.
Yeah,
out of StarTale Bomber. And TaeJa, you know, he's not going to really have any Marine upgrades by the time the Banshees get there. He's going to have, you know, some scans, but any good Terran will start to save some scans. And if he scans around like the 6:30-minute mark, which is a very common scan timing for Terran if they're not quite sure what's going on, he'll be able to probably catch that starport and see it working, and then, you know that he needs to save scans for sure, because it's not a very big main, so it's kind of hard to avoid being seen with a scan.
And Bomber, of course, going to have Cloak well underway before he ever starts producing his first Banshee. TaeJa, on the other hand, has even taken, he's taken gas, just one at each of his bases so far. Going to saturate his 2 bases very, very quickly off of 3 command centers. Orbital commands well on the way now. And reinvesting back into his barracks. Upgrades on the way soon.
Yep. And let's see, back at Bomber's base right now. What do we have going on? I'm waiting to see if that scan happens. Yep, there's the scan. Does he see the starport?
No.
He does not. Oh, okay. I'm actually a little bit... Okay. He scanned to see if there's anything built behind the mineral line, but he missed it. He missed it. But he did see that add-on start on the factory, too, so that may suggest it enough. We'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens, but He was looking.
There is
He's
an
curious.
I'm sorry, not evolution chamber, an engineering bay coming up now. TaeJa, of course, just going over to pretty predictable marine tank. His upgrades are going to be well in place, but the engineering bay should allow him to delay with orbital command scans, since he does have 3 of those out, and then put up turrets in time. But still going to be. I mean, we saw TaeJa in the last game against Squirtle, even when Cloak Banshees were detected, still did a ton of damage with them.
Yeah, TaeJa's already got a missile turret on the way. He's got combat shields and +1 on the way as well, so he doesn't really have to hold this off a whole lot before his Marines get a little bit stronger. And that Banshee's going to get in just maybe before the missile turret finishes. Yeah, but there's enough Marines there.
Yeah.
Does he have a scan on his other command center? Yes, he does. The Banshee.
Ooh, tried to take 1 more hit.
Oh, man, 2 hit points. He gets away.
Tried to take 2 more hits. The first one I thought was greedy. The second one I thought was suicidal.
Man.
Whew.
Bomber's a pretty confident player, though.
Yeah, he is.
Might still lose this Banshee. Almost did there. And there's already a medevac out for Bomber as well as some Marines, too. So if he pushes with this Banshee and this little force he has, it could be pretty good for him. He's got siege mode on the way as well. So, yeah, he's definitely going to be pushing here. TaeJa waiting for those upgrades to finish.
Only 1 Banshee up for Bomber at the moment, of course. Hasn't decided to produce another one after this, just reinvesting back into his barracks infrastructure.
That makes sense.
On TaeJa's side, he's up to 46 workers, just 9 Marines on the field. That's the only standing army he has. He is playing very greedy at the moment, and if he can defend this attack, though, he is going to be in good shape.
Siege mode's done.
But that's if he can defend this attack. Bomber is putting on some pressure.
Oh, man, his SCVs. If Bomber targets the SCVs, and he is.
Yeah.
There's 1 bunker. TaeJa's in trouble here, man. He just needs to go for it. He might need to sacrifice some SCVs to make this happen here.
Oh, he's doing a good job not taking too much damage quite yet, but now that Cloak Banshee's pushing forward.
Oh, big hit on those SCVs. 2 medevacs are out now. He needs to go for it. He needs to do something here, or Bomber's going to just get too much.
That was a really good snipe, though. He picks off the Banshee, so now
that helped a lot.
Yeah, Bomber is still going to have this bunker up, but without that Banshee, TaeJa can sit a little bit more comfortably back and repair up this bunker.
Yeah, okay, so.
And through this process, TaeJa has actually been macroing quite well. He's got some tanks coming up. He tried to do some damage to the bunker, but can't get a lot done there.
Well, he tried to target down the SCV, and he did kill it, but right after the bunker finished, so it didn't end up working out. Another Banshee's there, and he takes it out.
Loses some Marines in the process, but TaeJa is doing a little bit better. Oh, and he picks off the medevac as well. Loses the Viking, though.
Siege mode is getting closer to finishing for TaeJa. Man, TaeJa just showing incredible patience here.
Yeah, but he has to give up the bunker. And Bomber's going to start moving forward a little bit, but TaeJa's position has gotten a little stronger now. Certainly, Bomber can just play around with this tank line.
TaeJa has +1. He's got combat shields, and he's also got medevacs, which means Bomber does need to go home at this point, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's like, all right, I tried, but the upgrades are just a little bit too good right there. Bomber does have a nice little supply lead at the moment, though, and TaeJa did lose a bit of mining time having to repair that bunker for so long.
But TaeJa does have a 3rd base finished.
Yeah, that'll help.
And he's going to start trying to saturate that right now. Bomber may think that he's done some damage. How many workers did he kill there? 11 workers.
That's decent.
Yeah, that's nothing to sneeze at, but TaeJa, he doesn't realize, though, that TaeJa does have 3 command centers up and can replenish that number very quickly.
Yep, looks like Bomber probably wants to put up his 3rd fairly soon as well.
In
terms of upgrades, he's got stim combat shields and his own +1 on the way, making some more medevacs. I like the addition of a sensor tower so early in the game. When you've got a little bit of an edge on your opponent, the last thing you want is for a drop to come in and even things out or put you behind. So I feel like not enough Terran players actually make sensor towers this early.
And it really stalled this little Marine push as well from TaeJa.
Yeah.
So Bomber, just by having that up, ended up working out pretty well for him.
Yep. That's what it's for. Having that sensor tower there pretty much guarantees to TaeJa, though, that there is going to be a 3rd base in the works, even though there's not at the moment. But it kind of suggests that, and there's that drop.
Yeah, this gets cleaned up really quickly, though, by Bomber, and TaeJa kills a couple of workers there, but not a whole lot done, and doesn't find himself a 3rd base, so try to stim in and take out something there, but probably pleasantly surprised to not see anything or not any 3rd base there.
Wow. Bomber's actually going to go for this. He is not planning on taking a 3rd base, at least at this point. He's got that little supply lead edge, and he's coming. He's got +1 armor on the way. He's got stim about to finish, making that armory right now, too, for more upgrades. I gotta say, I feel like Bomber may be playing things a little bit risky here, going for such a heavy 2-base style.
It is risky, but if he pulls it off, I mean, if he even gets a little advantage, he's going to be in a good place. Oh, and if Bomber attacks into that, TaeJa's going to be really well defended.
Yeah, that would be bad for Bomber, certainly. He's starting his 3rd command center now. Definitely late, but he does have a decent-sized army, good amount of siege tanks. Here he goes. He's attacking up that ramp. Oh, TaeJa unsieges at the last second. Oh, man, Bomber.
Oh, and he still gets the first couple of shots off, though. So TaeJa has actually killed a lot of, or one tank and a lot of units there. Bomber does manage to pick off one of the bunkers, but has to go back home. TaeJa actually takes the supply lead after that. Going into the fight, he was down by about 15.
Man, this game is just crazy. I mean, this is the quintessential ace match.
Yeah, it is.
It's so close right now. TaeJa with a little bit of an economic lead, but Bomber just always threatening being out in the map, like this type of thing. He's clearing out a lot of those destructible rocks. He wants to be able to come up ramps very quickly if he has the opportunity later on, so that makes sense.
And yeah, actually taking out both of those destructible rocks there. Good little ring with the Marines as well. The Vikings, though, get a great scout on everything, even picking away about half the health of that medevac. So pretty well done. Once again, here comes TaeJa back.
Tower.
So annoying.
Yep, some Marines going out there to clean that up, but that is going to be a bit of a hassle having to rebuild that. They aren't exactly, well, they're not expensive, but they're not exactly cheap either, so it is kind of a pain.
Yeah, so, well, we'll see if, you know, I mean, Bomber's kind of losing his edge, though. I mean, if he was going to make the 2-base attack work, it would have been a few minutes ago, and he attacked into a really defensive position. If he had gone through the natural, he would have been fine, but now it's getting a lot harder for him because TaeJa's on 3 bases.
You know, it was a surprising decision that Bomber actually went for something like that. Such a heavy 2-base on a map where it's pretty easy to defend your 3rd if you have siege tanks, so I'm surprised that he actually followed through with it. I don't know if that was necessarily the wisest choice, but the game will certainly go on. Bomber still does have a little bit of a supply edge, so even though his 3rd is going to be a little bit later, it's not going to really hurt him all that much.
No, so we'll see. Is there a 4th command center up for anyone yet? Scanning. Don't see one out of TaeJa. A lot of supplies called down, though. You know, he had the available energy to do that, though, so it wasn't the worst deal in the world for him. Bomber, though, finally does have this base up. Because he did take it much later, he'll actually be starved out of this game a little bit later than TaeJa will if we get into that extreme late-game situation where players are denying force over and over again.
It looks like he wants to come around the side and not have to attack up this ramp. Oh, great presence of mind by TaeJa. Look at that. Hasn't seen the army for a little while, and he's like, all right, better go check. And he finds it. TaeJa coming around the top here, too, with a little bit of a strike force.
Yeah, and is there anything here for Bomber? There is.
A little bit, yeah.
A couple of tanks, and whoa, yeah, TaeJa going to have to back up from that. Loses one Marine, but that looks like it's enough to at least pull Bomber back for the time being.
Yeah, could have been worse. He's going to go ahead and try to cut this off. Take that Xel'Naga tower back, it looks like.
Yeah, and he will take the Xel'Naga tower back at the very least. But now, both players, you know, I mean, we were talking about Bomber's macro before. It is good. He has been down a base to his opponent through a good portion of this game. Sitting on 180 supply now with a superior tank count and Marine count. His macro is just outstanding.
Yeah, his upgrades are a little bit lower than TaeJa. You can see TaeJa sacrificing a bit of that army for upgrades. And so when he finally gets the upgrades sooner, he'll be able to catch up in army and be in a little bit better spot than Bomber in theory here. Moving down the ramp. The armies are so close right now. TaeJa stemming up, sees an opportunity to kill some Marines. And gets a couple.
TaeJa was actually really supply blocked there for a second. He just had 3 supply depots finish up, and so 2 tanks and 11 Marines started exactly the same time. Wow. So TaeJa would certainly like to have that cycle of production back.
Both players getting close to max up. Oh, wow, what? You don't see this at the 19-30 minute mark very often.
Go SCV.
It's like, let me help you. Oh, man. Bomber coming in. Oh, TaeJa taking some heavy hits there on the Marines and the siege tank.
Whoa!
Oh, that
loses a few
bad.
more, too.
That hurts a lot. Bomber's still slightly ahead in supply, but so even right now between these two players.
And looks like a Marine came down and finally ward away that SCV that was trying to be as annoying as possible.
Yeah.
And Bomber going to swing around the outside. Now he finally does have his 3-3 upgrades on the way now, too.
TaeJa's got a Marine there, so Bomber has to turn around. He can't continue.
TaeJa really does have pretty great presence of mind pretty much at every stage here. Oh, looks like, yeah, Bomber is thinking about going for it, but TaeJa already has the defensive position established.
Bomber has always prided himself on his ability to fight siege tank lines in TVT, so that's why he's not afraid to attack into that. But man, That's not how you do it, Bomber.
That was a lot
that's just
of
how you
units
lose
killed
about a dozen Marines. Yeah.
Yeah, there was actually exactly a dozen Marines there.
Oh,
so.
was it? Sweet.
Yeah. Well done. Are
Thank
you
you.
the Rain Man?
I'm becoming like the Rain Man of StarCraft too. I'm like, that's definitely 46 Marines.
Yep. Definitely 498 matchsticks. Definitely 498 matchsticks.
Well, at least I have one skill in life. Hooray.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, TaeJa
rolling
up into a tank line of his opponents as well. He is able to take out one of the tanks. Yes, there, finally gets the second one as well. A lot of medevacs overhead, so these units are pretty hardy. But the rest of the forces for Bomber are going to start rolling up now.
Gets the medevacs away. That's probably the most important thing out of that, is that he was able to do the damage and not lose those expensive medevacs.
Yeah.
And when I say expensive, I don't necessarily mean cost-wise, although they do cost something, obviously.
100,
but
100, yeah.
It's just, it takes the time to replace those. You need, you need those medevacs.
Oh, wow. And TaeJa is just
going
going for it, and
fake.
so is Bomber.
Is this going to be a base trade? A base trade in the ace match? Are you serious?
For both of their tournament lives? Are you kidding me?
All right, well, this is officially crazy. Here we go. Bomber coming in. He's got a huge army. But does he have enough to end the game? Oh, the tanks on the high ground are going to help a little bit.
Yeah, actually,
now
the supply
gone.
war is being won a little bit by TaeJa initially, but, it is very, very close at this stage of the game. Already a bunch of Marines being sent back for Bomber, just waiting.
Those Marines pretending to be SCVs. They don't want to get attacked.
Oh, but they may end up working because if he stinks in right now, he can pick up a lot of tanks.
Oh, he gets his Marines there just in time to lose some tanks. 3. He's got some sieges up, though. Meanwhile, back in the base of TaeJa, Bomber continuing to do damage. He's got a ton of siege tanks out. This is absolutely insane right now. Bomber with the supply lead. The life of these teams on the line right now. Team Arena Challenge 3.
Structure starting to move across the map for both players now. Supply depots actually going down a little bit quicker. I mean, TaeJa killing supply depots a little bit quicker than Bomber is. Bomber now finally sitting on top, though. As we can see, SCVs just running past each other
in the middle
now.
of the map, yeah.
Oh, God.
All right, well, might as well send everything, right? This is a true base trade. This is it. So Bomber has plenty of tanks out. Command centers just flying off in random directions.
Oh, and Bomber's actually pulling away before he kills the supply depot farm. That's actually pretty critical. Now finally coming back, though.
Oh, man, Bomber's got a 20 supply lead right now. TaeJa is going to need to play this so perfectly if he wants to have any chance to win. Bomber's remaking 8 barracks as well right now. TaeJa has decent amount of money. I don't know what I'm trying to say. He's got a decent amount of funds built up. He's got a decent bank, but he needs to find a place to land his buildings and do that. They're just kind of switching sides, aren't they?
Oh, my God. Yes, they
are.
are.
Making more buildings.
Now,
the planetary, though.
That's right. It's under siege, so all of these SCVs that Bomber kept alive, and this is the vast majority of them, he's going to lose them.
Bomber needs to give it up. He needs to just give this base up and go down to the bottom right. He's got to just get out of there, man.
And if he tries to run away with his SCVs, though, I think this could certainly be a problem.
He's just mining. He's like, we'll just mine in the face of danger. Those SCVs are so brave.
Bomber's not going to give this up, though. He's going to try and take it back. He's trying to move his tanks into position now.
Yep, that's right. And, oh, man. Oh, no. Bomber, if he's going to lose his planetary. But if he attacks from both sides, Bomber could sandwich this army of TaeJa.
But he's not. He's just losing his SCVs. Oh, God. Okay, all right, so now Bomber has a lot of tanks in the middle of the map. He's trying to run up with Marines so we can catch all of these floating structures, and he will get the barracks.
Okay, a couple of them. We'll get a couple. He's got them burning. That's enough.
Supply is almost even for our 2 players, but there's a 12 worker advantage for TaeJa, who is now starting to mine once again and rebuild his supply depots.
Took his opponent's base. He's like, this is actually where I'm going to have my base. Sorry. And Bomber's got TaeJa's old 3rd apparently right now. And supply is still very even, 76 to 80 right now. Both players supply block, too. They need to build some more depots. Oh,
and Bomber just lost a lot of Marines there. Good bait there by TaeJa.
11 Marines to 14. 11 siege tanks for Bomber to 6. So Bomber has more siege tanks, more Marines right now.
And where are all of those? Okay, those are where the reactors are being built at the moment. So, but Bomber certainly needs some mining, and he just doesn't have it for now.
Yeah, he's just got this Thor. He's like, I hate everything. I'm the most angriest Thor in all of StarCraft 2. I've been left behind. I'm just going to kill depots. Oh, he wasn't even a special edition Thor.
Good job, TaeJa.
Ouch. Oh, TaeJa coming in.
TaeJa.
Oh, taking some more damage. Down to 6 Marines. 6 Marines and 6 siege tanks to 11 siege tanks, 12 Marines.
Are you joking
The medevac
me?
count is higher. Everything is higher except for workers right now for Bomber.
And so TaeJa now rebuilding some of his barracks, but look at that. Already back into unit production for Bomber at the moment.
Jeez.
Oh,
all right.
But the 6 Marines do find this base down to the bottom right-hand corner. That mule's like, I got to return minerals somewhere, please.
Oh, he gets away. All right.
Hey, good job,
Good
Mule.
job, Mule, yeah. Well done. Oh, the command center's getting so low right now. Every orbital is so important because of the energy. 40 hit points down to 30 hit
Is he
points.
gonna save it?
I don't think Bomber can repair this in time. No, it's getting down to 20. He's not getting SCV there. That command center is certainly going down.
There it goes. At the same time, he tried to run some Marines up, but of course the tanks were already sitting there for
Bomber
TaeJa.
is 30 supply ahead almost right now.
He's producing 13 Marines at a time, as we just saw there.
Oh man, Bomber just, he seems to have the income. He doesn't have the workers, but he seems to right now. Well, TaeJa's got such a huge bank, though.
Look at this base up here at the top. That's where it's coming from. So, because I was about to say, this base is almost mined out, so TaeJa has a little bit of an advantage in that regard, because this base is going to mine out a lot slower. But Bomber has this. Oh, but it was just scouted by TaeJa.
Yeah, but what does he do? He hardly has any Marines right now. He's got a couple Marines, a couple siege tanks, trying to set up a line to protect his base, but you know, can he afford to send any units to go after this base of Bomber, though, in the upper right or upper left?
This is already one of the best TVTs I've ever seen. This is just an amazing way to end the set.
The setting is just, it's
perfect.
Bomber's certainly got the lead right now. We're taking some damage on those siege tanks. Every tank is pretty important right now.
Whoa, Bomber!
Whoa.
What is he concentrating on that he's losing? He just lost 2 tanks. He did finally kill one of TaeJa, but a couple more got very, very low there.
TaeJa's making 10 Marines at once to Bomber's 5, so TaeJa is able to use that bank. That's the only thing saving him right now. That's the only thing that could possibly get him back into this game, and the mules have run out for Bomber.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And now he has to rely on just whatever workers he has available. And he hasn't been able to make any at the moment because he's just too afraid of everything getting destroyed if he does. But now TaeJa's starting to climb back in supply.
That's right.
Oh, Chad, I hope you're loving this as much as we are, so. Okay.
Wow. All right. Factory being rebuilt by TaeJa right now. The supply nearly dead even. 100, 111 right now. The worker count actually fairly even too. 23 SCVs to 10. Mules existing for TaeJa, not existing for Bomber. Bomber only has 2 command centers, and here we go. TaeJa going for it. The tanks are not sieged up. They are now, though. TaeJa, oh man.
Oh, but he splits his Marines up. He's killing a couple of the tanks here. 2 of the tanks, 3 of the tanks have fallen. Will he get another one? It looks like he will. And TaeJa has taken the supply advantage.
Bomber, at the meantime, though, looks like he wants to attack this force. He's sieging up those barracks right now. I don't know, man. Those TaeJa Marines just became like the mercenary units from the StarCraft single player. They should not have been able to kill that many siege tanks.
Oh, God. Here comes Bomber. He's going to drop right on top of the economy as well.
Oh, all the SCVs are going to get hit by the siege tanks as well.
Oh, but Bomber now has all of his forces trapped at the back.
Bomber's bombing may have bombed him out of this match.
And the Vikings are sitting overhead as well. Bomber loses one of his medevacs. He's going to lose a couple more as well.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Bomber is actually down 20 supply right now. TaeJa has retaken the supply lead. He's making more Marines. Bomber's over-eagerness may have actually cost him this game right now.
At the risk of sounding cliched here, Liquid fans, do you believe?
I don't know, man. Oh, the tanks are going down.
That's it! TaeJa kills the rest of the forces. There's only 15 Marines out there for Bomber.
I don't think Bomber can come back from this.
Oh, my God!
I don't know. I can't believe that one attack with the Marines that he killed so many tanks. But TaeJa clearly has the lead now.
37 supply to 90. TaeJa rolling down the middle of the map. There's just one tank there.
He's going to go for it. That is a victory scan right there, man. He's like, 1 tank, I've taken more of those, no problem.
There it is! GG! Liquid defeats StarTale. They move on to play Slayers to see who makes it to San Francisco. Congratulations, Team Liquid.